Hi, welcome to AllBrands After Hours. Me, your host, Courtney Douthat. Welcome to the show where we hang out and craft together. Today we'll be using our Brother ScanNCut to make a quilted mug rug. Let's do this. So I've said it before, quilting on the ScanNCut is one of my favorite things. Now the worst part for quilting for me, and don't come at me, okay, personal preference, I don't like cutting. I don't like cutting all the little bits. It's just not me. And then you have to measure, math and me, we don't get along. So ScanNCut takes that part out for me. So I can do something quick like a quilted mug rug. How amazing. Now if you saw a previous video when we did a quilted stocking, that was so easy to do and it took us no time at all. So really, sky's the limit on what you can quilt. So I have pieces of these scrap fabrics that I have and they're so cute, and I saw these together and I was like, you know what, this would make a really cute little mug rug. So let's go on our machine and select which quilt block that we want to be able to do. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wake our machine up, and I'm gonna go to pattern, and then I'm gonna scroll down one, and there's our quilt blocks. All right, now the fun part, you get to scroll through, click around, and see which quilt block that you like best that you would want to make out of your mug rug. It's 100% customizable to whichever one that you prefer. So I'm gonna select into here. Oh, these are, I feel like that's just the classic like quilt block. When you think of a quilt block, that's the one that my brain goes to. So I love that one. This one's cute. Now I have two fabrics. So if I was to do something like this, well, then I would have to change the colors or, you know, put two of them saying or get another fabric. So it's 100% up to you. Let's see. Oh, those are cute. Oh, those are so nice. Let's see on our other option. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I really love this one. That is really pretty. It's like the inside of a rose in my head. You know what I mean? So you really kind of have sky's the limit. Oh, that's pretty. You really have sky's the limit on which one that you would prefer to do. So whichever one that you like, select that one. I think this one might be the one that I want to do. Look how cute is that? It's just honestly, when you think of a quilt block, that's what goes into my brain. I don't know what it is. All right, so now that we have it selected, what we can do is we can select what we want our finished quilt block size to be. So think when you're done sewing it together, what size we want it to be. Currently it's saying it's an 8. But I'm going to shrink it down and I want it to be a 6 because I want this to be a mug rug, and that smells like a good size to me. Alrighty, so there we go. We'll have it a 6, but you could select whatever size you want. So if you wanted this to be a centerpiece in the middle of your table, how pretty would that be? Or you could connect 3 of them together and make like a runner. You could make them as big as you wanted, like a 12 by 12 or anything like that. All right, so I have a 6 by 6. I'm gonna hit OK. And then it breaks down every single piece of that block for me. And I love that they separate them in the colors because that kind of helps me separate it in my head. And if we were to select one, it would show us where it would be on the block once you do have it sewn. But that way, if I'm changing colors for any reason, it kind of helps me there too. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and select this first part. And these are gonna be all my red pieces in my quilt block. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. And it's telling me, hey, for the size that you said you wanted your finished quilt block to be, this is the size that this particular piece would need to be, and this is how many you need to finish that. So I'm gonna hit set, and it's gonna arrange them on my mat for me. Now I am gonna go back and select add, and I'm gonna get a few more pieces because I feel like I could, you know, fit a lot more on there. Go. And then it's gonna arrange them. Because the piece that I have is a little bit under a 12 by 12. So I'm just gonna do them all at once. We're just assembly lining this, makes it faster. Go, add, the last one for that red, set, there we go. How cool is that? Now, a fun little trick that you could do is you can actually come to this button right here. This is your arrangement tool. And you can tell it, hey, I want you to arrange where it feels like I'm using less fabric. I don't love this one because I feel like, hey, you could have gotten in a little bit closer. So I do like to do them more uniform. So there's different selections that you could do. And usually I just click around until I found the one that I like. Now, if you don't love any of these, which I really don't, I feel like it could have done it better, then you could, of course, just manually change them and move them where you want. Another trick that I like to do is I'll come to Edit, Object Edit, and then I'll rotate. That way I can rotate different ones. So say I wanted to rotate this guy 90 degrees, like this, and then I could set them in there nicer together. Now, if you've got a ton of fabric and you're not worried about making sure you use every single little piece as much as you can, then this does not really concern you. But I like to do this. I don't know why. I'm frugal with my fabric. That's going on a shirt, frugal with fabric. Now, do I have a ton of fabric and I shouldn't be frugal? Yes, that's a different story for a different day. But I mean, I just want to make sure that I am using it as best I can. All right. How cool is that? So cool. All right, let's hit okay. Okay again. Okay again. Now, we could, of course, scan in our fabric if we wanted to. I know that my fabric is way large enough to be able to do that whole thing, so I'm not worried about doing that. But if you wanted to, you could scan it in, and it would show you in color on screen what was on your mat, so you knew, kind of the area that you had left to play with. Now, if you notice, there are two lines. There's a black line and a blue line. That blue line is your draw line, and that black line is your cut line. So to be able to draw, you have this little drawing tool that comes with your ScanNCut. All you have to do is to click the back of it to open up the little holder. Now, they give you two pins with your ScanNCut. They give you a purple and a blue pin. The purple pin, this guy right here, is an air-soluble pin, where this blue one is a water-soluble pin. Now, Courtney, why are they giving me an air-soluble and a water-soluble pin? Because you can be able to draw your seam allowance. Now, they do have other pins that are colored ones that aren't air-soluble or water-soluble that will fit in this pin holder that you can purchase separately. Or you can purchase the universal pin holder, which allows you to use the pins that you prefer, and you don't have to just use a Brother one. All right, so I'm going to just slip that Brother pin in there like that. How cute. All right, and we're gonna drop her in there just like any of our cutting tools, same concept. And we're gonna hit okay. Please select, and this time we want to draw. Isn't that fun? We're selecting other things than just cut, because usually we only select cut. Last video we selected the foil options. This video we're selecting the draw options. We're really branching out here. Alrighty, so everything's on there. It looks great. And it just has a piece of regular fabric. There's nothing treated about these fabrics. I didn't even do a Material Magic. You know I love a good Material Magic moment. But I didn't even do that. This is just plain cotton material because for my mug rug, I want it to feel like a quilt block. Alrighty. Everything looks good. We're gonna go ahead and hit start, and it's gonna start drawing on our fabric. There she goes. It's such a habit to touch it and like push down. Look at her go. And I am using the purple one, which is the air-soluble one, so it will fade over time. Well, I know that I'm going to be pretty quick about sewing all my pieces together, so I'm totally fine with it being an air-soluble. So which one do you guys use more whenever you're doing something like this? Do you use air-soluble or water-soluble more? I feel like I use air-soluble more because I wash my quilts, but like, I might not wash it before I give them. So I'm not going to take it out, I'm not going to unload or anything, I'm going to go straight into the next part. Now, this is where it gets confusing for a lot of people. They're like, oh, do I select the next part of this? Like, do I cut it out? Is that the next part? Or do I hit finish? Well, I'm not finished because it hasn't cut it out. But the way that this works, and this is the easiest way I can tell you how to think of it, the next part is the next part of my quilt. Well, I'm not done with this part of my quilt, so I want to finish this part of my quilt. So think, I want to finish what I'm on. I do not want to go to the next part. I need to finish what I'm on. So let's hit finish. And then it goes back to this screen. This is what I want, because if you select next part, it's going to delete all this out. And then you're going to have to try to rearrange. You've already drawn. Maybe you don't put it in the right place. So we want to hit finish. So now we're going to do please select, and we want to cut this time because now we want to actually cut out our block. So I'm going to take out the drawing tools and I'm going to put it in the cutting tool. And I'm going to make sure I'm really good and take the pin out and then look around for the pin top. There it is. Because it is a marker and it will dry out. So just a friendly reminder, make sure that you're putting the caps back on the pins. Ask me how I know. Alrighty, so we've got that in there. Everything looks good, and we're going to hit start. All right, and she's gonna come around and she's now going to cut around each one of my blocks. Now, the rotor blade does take a few seconds longer, if you've heard me say this before, because she looks for that great possible cut. Now, if you notice, she's gonna hop around and she's not gonna finish one area. Why does she do that? It's because she's looking for the best cut. And she's thinking like, ooh, over here is gonna give me a smooth area, but over here is gonna give me this area. So she's gonna go back and forth to try to find you that best possible cut. Again, it takes a few seconds longer, but I will wait a few seconds longer for a crisp, good cut. So, and I feel like she's a little bit more gentle with my fabric, so say my mat's just not as sticky as it used to be, she's gonna be careful with it. She does have a setting that's even called fine, where she's even more careful with your items. So if you're doing something slick like a silk or a chiffon or something like that, which is what they made this for, you could do that. I've never had to use that setting because she does great with this, but I like that I know that I have it if I ever wanted it. So it's appreciated. I'd like to have too many options than not enough, you know? Look at her go. I'm a giant ScanNCut nerd. It never gets old. Never gets old. So at the time y'all are watching this video, I'm actually in New York right now, getting ready for Brother Experiences, where they show me all the new Brother goodies. So make sure that you keep your eyes on our channels, because we're going to be sharing everything that they tell us, everything that they show us. I am so excited. This is my Christmas. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. This is my Christmas. I love all the machines and like learning all the cool things. So I am beyond excited. All right, and she's done. All right, so we're gonna unload. This is my favorite part, okay? You guys know this about me. Okay, now I should be being good with my spatula and like wiggling underneath, but like I can't help it, okay? I'll do that when I get to my actual piece. I am such a dork. Oh my goodness, it did so good. All right, now in the grand scheme of it, the only thing that's stuck that I have to cut like a thread, I tell you, is right there. Cut a thread. There it goes. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna put you back where you belong with your friends. How cool is that? Alrighty, so now that we have that, I'm going to put my spatula and I'm gonna put it underneath, and now I'm gonna wiggle. Now again, we wiggle because this is untreated fabric, and we want to be as sweet and kind with this fabric as we possibly can, because she did a great job cutting it out. We need to help her along to be able to make sure that we get it off beautifully. I mean, look at that. Oh my goodness. So I have a bit, like one little bit of fraying right there, because I wasn't being very careful when I took this off. But like in the grand scheme of it, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, look how good she cuts the edges on there. I mean, it's fantastic. And you can see where that air soluble pin drew it out for me. So then that way when I stitch together, I have a nice guide. So I'm just gonna get these off of our mat so that way we can do our next part. All right, now if you do have a little bit of debris on your mat from it cutting, you know, little fibers, it's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. Honestly, I usually just go ahead and I cut out all my pieces and I clean my mat afterwards. All right, so next one, we'll do the dark blue. Now, something with this blue is that, Courtney, if you draw on this, you're really not gonna see it. So if you wanna flip this and draw it on the back side, so the seam allowance on the back side of it where you can see it a little bit better, that's totally fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. I actually kind of recommend it. This red, there was no directional, like no front or back, so it didn't matter on that. But usually the back of the fabric is a little bit lighter, especially when it's a printed fabric like this, so you have that option if you wanted. Okay. Alrighty, so now that we have that, we're going to select next part, because we wanna do the next part of this block. So we're going to select the blue ones now. Hit OK. Set. There we go. Hit add. Next ones. Set. Add. This one. OK. Set. There we go. All right. So again, if you wanted to align these in any certain kind of way, then you are more than welcome to. It is up to you. So I'm just going to do this. All right, there we go. So we're gonna hit OK. Please select, and we wanna draw. And again, we're gonna use our drawing tool right here, open her up, and then put the air soluble pin in there. But if you wanted to put the water soluble, you totally could. There we go. And then hit start. There she is. Oh, that's so cool. So again, don't unload. We want to finish what we're on, and we're gonna select, please select and cut. We're going to put back in our cutting tool. Just for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and use this one just so we can see both. Now something with this blade, since I put the thin fabric blade in there, this one, you're gonna notice that it says half cut because I used half cut last. Now, you notice it did not say that, turn half cut off, It did not say that with the rotary blade because there is no half cut on these kind of blades. But that blade is the same kind of configuration as the vinyl blade and the black auto blade. So that's why it gave us that option. So just something to keep in mind. Alrighty, so half cut is off because of course we wanted to go all the way through this item. Half cut is like for vinyl. And we're gonna select start. All right, there she goes. She's gonna come down here and she's gonna test that material and then she's on her way. There she goes. That was fast. Oh my goodness, that was so fast. All right, go. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good. Okay, spatula, spatula. I feel like a doctor. Spatula. Here we go. There's one of our pieces and I can totally look at that. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, next piece. I'm being really bad. Do you see this? I'm like kind of putting the spatula and then I'm just tearing, which is bad. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? Go. All right, there we go. And usually I just, like I said, I just clean my mat afterwards. It's not a big deal. Now there is technically one piece that we still need, which is an 8x8 square. That's going to be the back part of our mug rack. If you want to cut that out of your machine, just grab a square and tell it to be 8x8 and have the machine cut it out. Or if you want to do it by rotary, it's 100% up to you. But that would be the only other piece that you would have to cut. Look at that. That's so cool. But yeah, that would be the only other piece that you would have to cut. Other than that, we have all of our pieces. So what I like to personally do is whenever I go over to my sewing machine, I like to lay all my pieces out like how my quilt block is going to be sewn together. And then I just go row by row, taking it and sewing them together. Figure this one out. Now another thing is if you want to, where's my thing? If you want to hit the next part on your ScanNCut, it's going to bring that block back up there. So that way you can kind of remember what your block was supposed to look like and use it as a reference point. So usually that's what I just put my block back up there and then put it all together. Alrighty, and last piece right there. So that's what our finished quilt block will look like. It's so pretty. All right, so let's take this over to my sewing area very carefully and go ahead and get it sewed out. Alrighty, so she's ready to go. I have my sewing foot on there. So what I usually like to do is just take the first few of them. I'm gonna go ahead and line that up like that. And then sew right down that line. You see where it did that air soluble pin? Now, if you want to chain stitch all of your pieces together, you're more than welcome to. It is up to you. All right, so we have this first one done. So cute. Now, if you want to be good and press your seams, I would highly recommend it. If you want to finger press, I have a little ironing set up over here that I'm just going to press mine real quick. Just, you know, it's the little things like that that you do that just make it look so much nicer. Yeah, so there we go. Alrighty, so we have that one. Now our next piece is this guy over here. This goes like that. So now fold this guy. Now the beautiful thing about having a XP machine is that it'll actually project that line on there. So I don't know if you guys can see it real well. Let's see if I can bring you closer to see it. There we go. See where it projects that line right there? So I can actually sew along that line. So I just kind of meet that line up with the line of, you know, that I stitched out on my machine, or sorry, drew on my machine. All right, okay, so we got the next piece, so we're gonna line it up. Like that, gorgeous. Oh, look at that, it's just so good. All right, there we go. And again, that line that it's drew, I just put it together with the line of my projector. And then I know I've always got a straight line. It's a win-win. Gorgeous. If you want to know what these little buttons are right here, they don't do technical. It would be kind of cool if they did that in real life, but it's the camera. I can actually use my little pen that comes with my luminaire and select these. So if I wanted to move where the line was, so instead of it being right there, and I could put it on the 1/4 inch seam allowance if I wanted to do that. I could change the width of the stitches, the length of the stitches. I could change the background to be able to see it a little bit better if I needed to, depending on what fabric color I had. I could totally do that too. So very, very cool options. All right, so I went ahead and pressed that. So now she's all lovely and flat. I love that. It's just, it takes away the bulk. All right, so our last one right here for this row, pop that right there on top and just sew right down. Look at that. Oh, so good. So good. There we go. All right, so that first piece is done. How pretty. All right, and we'll go ahead and start on our next one. All right, so I'm just gonna sew away and sew all my blocks together. Don't think you want to see me sew every single piece. Alrighty, so now we have at least these parts done. I ended up taking these sides off and just doing the center one, piecing that together, sewing those two, and then sewing them together. It made more sense in my head, and it actually made my seams not too shabby. Except that one. We don't look at that one. Stop looking at that one. I'm just kidding. Alrighty, so we're going to put this top on here and then sew along that line to start actually connecting our big block. Now, something that I like to do is I like to take the pieces and I butt them up together like that, pin that part, pin where the points need to be. Not that my points are ever perfectly straight, but this does help to possibly get them straight. The projector is saving me. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, we are on the home stretch, the last ones. There we go. Go. Bam. Let me go iron her down. She's so cute. All right, so now we have our gorgeous block. She's so pretty. We're gonna move on to our next parts. So I have this piece right here, and I have a bit of leftover batting that I just cut that's a 1/4 inch, you know, sticks out on all sides. So I'm gonna position this where it's centered, like that. Cute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sides of my mug rug and I'm actually gonna fold it in half. So like this. So you see how that, so we're gonna fold that in half like that. And then I'm gonna fold it over again one more time like this. And then we're going to go ahead, if you have wonder clips, I love wonder clips for this. So go ahead and pin this side down. And then you're gonna do the same thing on this side. So we're going to pin both sides and then we're gonna sew them. And then we'll do the other sides. And if you want to iron this, you totally can, if that makes it a little bit easier, just to hit the iron right there, just so you know it folds over and makes that nice crease. And since I made the batting come over just a little bit, it gives it that nice like plushy right there on the side. And what I do is I sew right down the center of this. Go. go. How pretty. Oh, and since we put that back in that chunky, like, oh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's do the other side. There we go. So now that we have the sides done, what we're going to do is we're going to take the sides of these, so the corners, and we're going to angle them down like that. So both sides, angle them down, and then the same thing we did on the other side. So fold down and then fold down one more time. Now, when we do that, it now creates this little point right here. So like that. So I'm going to pin this down. Okay. All right, got that side, and then one more side to go. All right, so we've got the first one stitched. Now, if you want to stop here, you're more than welcome to stop here. I like to do a double stitch because I think it looks fun, especially the fabric kind of makes it look like it. I don't know. So I'm going to do one more decorative stitch, but it is 100% up to you. If you want to be done here, you can be done here. And I'm not going to go right over that last one. It's 100% up to you. I'm just going to kind of zigzag it a bit and just give it something fun. Go. And then I'm going to actually raise the presser foot, and I'm just going to turn. Now that I have all of that done, I don't have to go piece by piece. I can just go all the way around if I want to. There we go. Raise that foot. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, see, double stitch. How pretty is that? And you could do this with a twin needle if you wanted to. I'm just being a little lazy. But I just wanted to do this real quick. Okay, little back stitch to end us. How fun. Oh yeah, doing that stitch, that was pretty. That is so fun. Now, if you wanted to quilt around it and do some really cool designs on it, you absolutely could. And look at that, even the back's pretty. Like, it came out so good. How cool is this? So now we have a really cute mug rug. Do I even have, I have a drink. Wait, we don't get free advertisement. There we go. Ta-da! Like, oh, it's so stinking cool. I love it. I think it came out so good. And again, if you wanted to put some heat resistant batting in it, it could actually be a pot holder. So you really kind of have sky's the limit. Now, I've seen people at farmers markets that sell these, and they add like a little ribbon onto it. So if it is a pot holder and you want to hook it on something, you totally could. So technically, you just learned how to make two things instead of one. So how awesome. So tell me down below, what colors would you have picked? What quilt block would you have picked? I think this one just looks amazing. I just keep looking at it in the viewfinder. She's cute. All right, guys, don't forget that the Brother ScanNCut is available on our website, allbrands.com. And guys, I say that every show. I say it every show, but seriously, allbrands.com, tons of really cool things. That's where, of course, where I get all of my things. And we do appreciate when you guys shop with us, because not only are you supporting a small mom and pop family owned business, But again, you're helping us continue this education, because that's how we do this, is you guys being amazing and going on our website and watching our channel. So thank you. We would not be able to do any of this without you guys. Don't forget, if you want to meet me in person, we do have AllBrands Academy, Bossier City and Lafayette up right now to sign up for. So if you want to meet me in person and come hang out and learn some cool things, those events are up. And I'll also be at the Red River City Quilt Show. So if you want to see me in person, those are the next places that I will be. Now, Courtney, you used to talk about AllBrands Academy San Antonio and you stopped talking about it. Yeah, that's because you guys sold out both weekends. You sold out both weekends. So unfortunately, you can't come take the class, but you can still come and hang out with us. So even if you don't have tickets to that event, we do recommend coming out. Come hang out with us. Come say hello to us. Even if you don't, it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you can make it out to those events, that's where I will be, at the San Antonio event. And of course, I'll pop everything on screen. And the Red River Quilt Show in Bossier City, as well as the AllBrands Academies in Bossier City and Lafayette. And then in the near, not so far future, I will be at Houston Quilt Festival with, of course, AllBrands in the AllBrands Village. So definitely come out and see me at any one of those. Whew. All right, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it's the easiest way to let us know that you want more of these videos. Y'all have a good night. Bye! So I can just do something quilt. Something quick, not quilt. Those are two different things, Courtney. See what's on my brain. There we go. And it's going to arrange them on my mat. Ah! Oh no. Oh, is it working? Is it working? It's going to work. It's gonna work. I'm gonna transport the whole thing. It's gonna be fine. Why would I do it over here and not near my machine? Okay. Okay, I messed it up a little bit. It's fine, it's fine. All right. Ha! There we go. Work smarter, not harder. Beautiful. There we go. Oh, I did it backwards. Doesn't hurt to have pen. Now, if you are a experienced quilter, then I'm sure you don't have to do that. But for me, I don't care how long I've been quilting, any help that I can get is always appreciated. Y'all have a good night. Bye. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go pick that up. I didn't think that one through when I threw it.